Ladies and gentlemen, I decided to buy a Mega Drive or Genesis if you're watching in America. Yes, I bought a Mega Drive 2, arguably, well, in my opinion anyway, the best looking console ever made. This is quite a poor example of one, I would say. It was grade C. I bought it. I went out and I was out. I went out for lunch and I was like, I saw it in the window of CEX and I thought, you know what? I want a Mega Drive. I decided I wanted one. So there you go. There's the front of it, of course. The best looking console. I think Sega's best looking console and the best looking console ever. I mean, it's these red buttons that do it for me. That's it. It looks like a Terminator. Turn it upside down. That's like a mouth, and it's like that's its eyes. It looks like a Terminator. Look at it. Of course, this was the 16-bit system, as it says on the front. I miss Sega. I mean, you ever miss Sega's consoles? I miss their marketing more than anything. Of course, this was marketed with blast processing. What did that mean? Who knows? It was just a term that was purely made up. I wish they would do that more. I mean, you wish that Microsoft, if Sega put out the Xbox One X, it would say on the front of it, 6 teraflops. You know it would, wouldn't you? The PS4 Pro would just have 4K written on it, even though it can never actually do 4K. Interestingly enough, the Mega Drive 1, the sort of first model Mega Drive, actually it said on the top here, this circle, but it said high definition graphics. And it couldn't do HD. I mean, nobody really knew what HD was in the sort of 90s, but you know, I like the bold claims that Sega would make. I mean, they lied a lot of the time, but you know, at least they had the balls. They had a set of balls, Sega on them then. So this is what I bought. It didn't come boxed. It is kind of rusted at the back. It's not in the best. You can see the rust through other side. On the thermal part, that can't be good. It is an old system, which I don't like. I mean, you can see it is kind of scratched. Needs a new shell, but I just had to have one. I did have one of these back in the day. I think this looks way better than the American version. I wanted it just to have it, and yeah, I know you can get that. What is it? The Mega Drive Revival, whatever it's called, thing. Does have differs from the SNES Classic and the NES Classic in that it actually has a functioning cartridge slot. Does that NES thing? It comes with quite a few games. The Mega Drive, should we say? There's an Atari one as well. You can plug in original controllers as well to that thing, but it is too expensive. I mean, I bought this. We did get games with it. Oh, I bought the 2 games anyway. We bought Sonic the Hedgehog, came fully boxed, which is nice. The Mega Drive boxes certainly age better than the SNES boxes. They're basically kind of like VHSs. You've got them there. You've got your Sonic the Hedgehog 1-player 16-bit cartridge. Very, very important to get that in there. They always were, you know, smart with the marketing. You've got the Sonic the Hedgehog, you've got your cart right there, which we'll slot it into our Mega Drive right here. It's a bit stiff though. Trying to get Mega Drive carts in was always a stiff thing, but look at that. A Mega Drive 2 with Sonic the Hedgehog. Of course, Sonic the Hedgehog, not very valuable these days. It was a pack-in title, really, and it's been released on every other system. There you see, you get the name there. Let's see it the right way around. You get the end label there, but we've got the instruction manual. Let's have a read at the instruction manual, shall we? It comes fully boxed. £4 for Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, it's not worth a huge amount. Again, it was a pack-in game. You've got the starting up, it says here, set up your Sega Mega Drive Genesis system as described. Plug in control pad 1. No online update, no firmware update, nothing. Just put the cart in, flick a switch. Dr. Ivo Robotnik, that was his name. His name was Ivo rather than Eggman. I don't call him Eggman, I still call him Robotnik. Dr. Ivo Robotnik, the mad scientist, is snatching innocent animals. Ooh, what a dick. And turning them into evil robots. Are robots evil, or is it the person who programs the robot that's evil? You know, just asking a philosophical question about robots. I'm asking a philosophical question in a Sonic game, though. We also had to get the best Sonic game, of course, which is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which has Tails in it. It was quite annoying. My friend had this and I also had to play as Tails. Again, this is 1 or 2 player 16-bit cartridge. This one, the front page is missing from the instruction manual, which is a shame, though. This one's a little bit more designed. This was £6, so in all, it was £30 all in for the entire system, plus 2 games, which I don't think is too bad. I mean, we got Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and there's the Sonic 2 cart right there. It says, amazingly enough, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Surprisingly, I guess you'll be surprised by that. This one's in a bit worse condition. Again, a pack-in game as well, Sonic 2. The Mega Drive 1s, a lot of them came with Sonic 1. And the Mega Drive 2s, a lot of them came with Sonic 2. The Mega Drive 2 was kind of the redesign. Think of it as the Mega Drive Slim. But it's so the best looking. Either that or the Master System was the best. The Model 1 Master System was amazing. I don't own one. I've never owned the Master System. I did own a Mega Drive, or Genesis if you're American. I'd also picked this up. I bought this. It's one of those sort of it's what a compilation carts. It has Streets of Rage. I really want a Streets of Rage, but it's around sort of £15 to £20 these days for Streets of Rage. If you want to collect Streets of Rage, don't buy this thing. It's got, what's it got on it? Sega, Soccer, Column, Super Monaco GP, Revenge of Shinobi, Sonic 1, and Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage is what I bought it for. It was only $8.99. It did come apparently as a set of 12 for £25. Whoever bought that on eBay got this on eBay. But yeah, £15 to £20 for Streets of Rage. I didn't want to pay that because that was the game I remember playing the most. I played that at a friend's house and I never had Streets of Rage. So if you're collecting Streets of Rage, obviously you don't want this. But if you want to play Streets of Rage on the cartridge for cheap, then it's not a bad one because Streets of Rage was arguably my favourite Mega Drive game of the time. So there you go, our 16-bit. We'll have a look at the accessories, shall we? We'll have a look at them. CEX gives you this kind of thing. Comes in a forensic bag. It's evidence. This is what he killed him with. He killed him with the power brick. That Sega power brick. It says Mega Drive 2 console, 1 pad, no game. What do we get in the component bag? Of course, we do get the Mega Drive controller. It has the red button on it, the red start button, which is pretty nice. It's got the A, B, and C button. What was the Sonic sheet? It was up, down, left, right. Was it A, B, C, and then start? Was that it? Was that? I can't remember. But you did that with Sonic the Hedgehog. Good. The controller isn't in the best of conditions. It says Mega Drive control pad. I think it says Genesis control pad. It also says trigger. There's no triggers on it. It just says trigger there for no reason. Just no reason for it to say. It says that's Sega for you. So it made them. I miss Sega. I miss Sega and their antics. We've got the component cable, which is good for hooking up to sort of more modern TVs. We can hook this up via HDMI. We can do it. We've got an Elgato capture card, so I can put it in there. There's the cable that you use to hook that into the Elgato. I tend to use that for my old consoles. I think it's the red one that you use. The red one, and of course the two for the audio. So the yellow goes into the red, and then there's the two audio, the red and white for audio, and then that goes into your Elgato capture card. And then, of course, it does the HDMI pass-through. That's how I do it, because most modern TVs, of course, don't have these components or SCART cables. I think the Mega Drive think the Mega Drive only had mono sound, did it not? I don't know why it's got two of them. But I do already have one of these. I bought one for my Sega Saturn, so it's the same connector. So we'll go into the Mega Drive. This was the more sort of traditional. It comes with both cables, which is quite nice. This was the more traditional sort of RF unit that you had. Most modern TVs don't generally accept this signal anymore. What you would do is you'd hook your aerial in to that port there, and it would go into the aerial port of your TV, and of course that other side would go into the back of your Mega Drive. This is in really poor condition. This is. We won't be using it. I mean, it's nice to have. It's a nice little collector's item, I guess. What else do we get? The murder weapon, of course. The Mega Drive's power brick. There it is. There it says Sega AC mains adapter, 9-volt out, 240 volt in. It's 230 volt nowadays. Again, not in the best of conditions. Was this outside at some point? It's all kind of dirty. I don't know if it was outside, but there it is. Oh, it's quite heavy. I mean, it's a heavy thing. You get clunked in the head with that. That is going to kill you. There's the murder weapon, Your Honor. There's the murder weapon that we held up. There it is right there. That was it. He was killed by a Genesis / Mega Drive transformer. So there you go, that was my Mega Drive. We'll do a power on video, shall we? We'll have a look at that. We'll hook it up with the Elgato. We can actually hook it into a PC monitor, actually, because we're using HDMI. Won't get any sound. Well, I won't get any sound. You'll get sound, but I won't. That's the thing. I found that out with the NES thing. But yeah, you can do that with your Elgato. You can convert to HDMI. It is an expensive solution, I will say, using the Elgato capture card, because it is quite an expensive piece of kit to buy. But there you go. We can use HDMI. That's what I use for all of my retro consoles. Well, they have to have component out. They have to have this in order to convert it. But yeah, you can record. I use it for recording gameplay. I use this. It's supposed to be the YPRPB connector, but you can just... I think it's the red... I'm pretty sure it's the red one. I always have to go to the instructions and look it up. But yeah, the red one, and obviously the two audio, the white and red. Don't know why they're both red there. That's a bit confusing. But anyway, because you use the three of them for the video normally when you do the component. But it is quite a nifty little thing that I found there for using old consoles on modern TVs. But anyway, that is all for this video, so thank you for joining me. We'll see you again soon, and goodbye.